Heyo, Omni Cats and Omni Kittens. It's OmniDog here. I know it's been a while, but I got a lot lined up for this month, and so I'm going to get right to it. I appreciate all your patience. Got a lot of good books to cover, and these are, some of them in the month of October are going to be spooky books. Others are just going to be books that I've read, and some of them sort of fit into October. Mostly I just wanted to make some videos, so I needed to get going. So speaking of getting going, let's get going with the review. The review I'm going to be doing for this is the books by Tom Taylor, DCeased. There are 4. First one's DCeased. Second one is Unkillables. Third one, Hope at World's End. And then the 4th, Dead Planet. These are all standard sized, so you're welcome if an omnibus comes out. It would be a pretty chunky omnibus if it did come out. Now here's the problem I'm dealing with, but I'll figure it out. How can I tell you how great this book is without spoiling it? So I'm just going to go over generalities of what I think makes this series so great. First of all, this is very subjective, but Tom Taylor right now is my favorite writer. I'm not saying he's the best, I'm saying he's my favorite. And I'm lucky because there's so many good writers out there right now to choose from. Whoever comes in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place are all amazing writers. The top 10 writers today are all great writers. We're really lucky. So, but Tom Taylor's have a way of reaching me not only by telling a great story, but doing it with just the right amount of humor, just the right amount of action, and just the right amount of thrills. And that's what DCeased contains. Whoops, that's not the first book. That's the last book. Sorry. So we'll go over some generalities first. The art in the books is all very good. I will show you the art in the books. They are all separate stories, but some of them call back and tell an earlier time in the stories. So you'll see something happen to somebody, and in a few books ahead of time, you'll see that person and say, wait, didn't something happen to that person? But it happened earlier, and it happens organically and easily, and you won't get confused at all. So what's DCeased about? And I know I said I'm going to tell you about the art, but first I'm going to tell you what DCeased is about, and I'll tell you what it's not about. It's not about zombies. It's not a zombie book. So anybody out there that says it is, cut it out. It's just not. It's not a zombie book. Now, it is a book about a virus that spreads on Earth. I won't tell you how it spreads, but it contains the anti-life equation in it. We'll call it the anti-life virus. It comes to Earth in a patient 0 and spreads. And the way it spreads is through screens of internet-connected devices. Cell phones, laptops, iPads, also televisions, anything else with a screen, based on the nature of where it develops, the nature of where the anti-life equation goes to develop and gets released as a virus. So it is a virus that is technological in nature, but you can also get the virus through attacking somebody and ripping them open. So what the anti-life does in the person is they want people dead. It's the anti-life equation. So, I don't know. I guess maybe that's where everybody gets the zombie thing. Now, I want to be careful that I don't show any... Okay, this is the first book. Yeah, I don't want to show any spoilers, but I do want to show off how great the art is. And it's by different artists everywhere. No, I don't want to show you that. This is a little dark. Okay, I can show you this. And this is a scene early in the book. And I will say that Tom Taylor writes Harley and Ivy perfectly. I really want him to write a Harley and Ivy story, because there was just the right amount of humor, just the right amount of danger, and just the right amount of love in there that made them great. They didn't make a lot of appearances throughout the book, but where they did, no, I can't show you that. Wait, let me show you this. I know there's so much I don't want to show you because I don't want to spoil it. The art is, okay, I can show you this. This is the first book and the art. So the world's superheroes, DCs, are all fighting it, trying to solve it, trying to figure it out, and trying to contain the virus and keep the death rate low. What's great about Tom Taylor's writing is that he elevates B-level, C-level, and even D-level characters to a place where we really care about them. They're just not guest appearances, but when the D-level, C-level characters appear and are like have an assignment and are doing something, there's a lot of really good dialogue that makes them more appealing and more interesting than they've ever been. So that's one thing Tom Taylor does well, is take characters that you might not generally care about and makes them interesting and important in this book. So the first book is spent... Okay, I can show you this. The first book is spent with their initial reaction to this virus. It's not a standard superhero story by any stretch. It is remarkable, interesting, high stakes, thrilling, little bit of humor like he always does. That's always just right. And sets up the rest of the books. And they're each individual stories that flow through each other. Because like in the Unkillables, the second book, the Minister of Comics and I have talked about this book. This is one of the best books of the year. I'm aware it was released earlier, but I read it and he read it this year. So this book deals with how villains are dealing with the anti-life equation. And it is a brilliantly beautiful, sweet, amazing, unpredictable story that was surprising and interesting, captured my attention, captured my heart, made me really care about villains that I didn't necessarily even know about or care about. So he elevates those villains into a more interesting role. Let's see, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I can show this. So there's different artists for every book, and I don't need to go over every artist's name, but it's all very interesting. And this book, as you can see in there, the green guy is the Creeper, and he has hilarious lines in this book. And this is how the villains deal with the anti-life virus and how they find the real villains in the world. And I found this compelling and exciting and fun. It's got a very different tone than the other books. Highly recommend all of them, but I really loved Unkillables. When we get to Hope at World's End, as you can see, you've got an anti-life equationed up Black Adam. The overall story is about, I mean, you see Black Adam antivirused up here, so it's not giving away anything to say he gets the antivirus. I mean, he gets the virus of the anti-life equation and leads millions of people that are also infected. Here is some, well, whoops, I don't want to show that one. No, I can't show that. Can't show that. But this book is got a lot of sassy characters that are, I don't want to say not popular, but are relatively unknown or maybe haven't been made a big deal of before. These are sort of the D-listers, and they're elevated in this book to A-listers. And here, I can show you this. This book, this part of the book has a bit of a, this is the book that has the callback to stuff that happens right before things happen in the middle of the first book. But this book is a little bit more teamwork oriented, but it's, I don't want to say ingenious, but the way he accomplishes the elevation of the superheroes, or some are even supervillains that are cooperative in this, is really well done. This, the way Tom Taylor writes, and I've read everything by him except Injustice, and I know that's a big deal that I haven't read Injustice yet. It's just that it's such a thick omnibus, I just haven't tackled it. But I've read a lot of other things by him, and he has one thing. Oh, first of all, this is what's great in this book. Super pets to the rescue. I don't even, if you know me at all, you know how much I love the super pets. Holy guacamole, does he know how to write the super pets well? And this is a really fun and rewarding part of the book. Because I'm such a softie for super pets, that's probably my favorite issue. But that's not necessarily going to be yours. But it's just so fun to see him work in the super pets to this thing. And it seems completely natural and organic. Of course the super pets are going to be there helping out. They're the super pets. Tom Taylor knows how to write these guys in. And I my hat's off to him for including and making interesting everybody possible. When we get to the final book, I don't even know if I want to show you any art, because almost everything's a giveaway in this book, because we're coming to the end here. The people who end up being the main characters at the end were surprising, really well written, and in a great scenario that was really rewarding to read. I would love to spoil this for you, because it is just such a great ending that absolutely made sense. It was cohesive. It was coherent. It was just absolutely a really well-written ending that tied everything up together and made perfect sense, and I loved it. I loved the whole book, but I especially loved the last half of the book. And I'm not going to show you any art, because anything I show is probably going to give it away. So this is my suggestion for anybody to read at any time. I just happened to read it, and it's October 2021. This is not a Halloween read. It's scary what happens in it, so it qualifies for October. It's scary what happens in it, but I'm telling you, trade paperbacks when it comes out in an omnibus, if you can find the hardcovers. I don't know if some of them are out of print now. Maybe they are. Digitally, I don't care how you read it. I mean, just read it. Really, it's not a zombie story. It is a story of the it is a story of humanity digging deep within itself and finding the ability to overcome ridiculously crazy odds in a snappy, fun, well-written way. I can't give it any better. I can't give it a better review than that. I love this book. If it comes out in omnibus form, I don't want to trade these in. I just want to keep these because the spines are boss, and I think that this has such a special place in my heart. I want to read it at least once a year. So you can probably tell what's going to be in my top 10 for 2021. That's the spoiler. This book. So I appreciate everybody watching this. I encourage you to get this book, these books, read them and enjoy them. It's an Elseworld alternate reality, DC universe type book. Really well written. I just think of the world of Tom Taylor. Thank you for watching so much. I appreciate everybody that watches. Please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification thing, and of course leave a comment. I'm happy to answer and talk to you in the comments. So peace and love till next time, and it will be soon. Thank you so much.